Oh yes, this is much better. I can feel almost no wind on my legs with these deflectors in place now. Even going down this hill at about 100 kilometers an hour, 60 miles an hour, a great improvement that kind of fixes one of the ADV's negatives in one fell swoop. These really should have been on the bike from new. So Honda announced the revised 2025 ADV 350 a few weeks ago. My 2022 has done nearly 20,000 kilometers and has been such a useful purchase that I was thinking of upgrading to the facelifted model. There are only a couple of relatively minor changes though, like colour TFT dash and adjustable rear shocks, so I didn't think it was worth it. There's nothing really wrong with what I've got. However, my interest was piqued by these deflectors that have appeared for 2025 on the configurator. Now, lack of wind protection is one of the few negatives of the ADV over the Forza, as well as the narrower screen to accommodate the handguards when the bars are on full lock. There's this gap in the front fairing that's maybe not immediately obvious from the front, but you can see from this perspective that the way the bodywork is kind of pinched in the middle means the wind is funneled directly onto the rider's knees. Annoying in the summer, downright chilly in the winter. Looking at the 2025 ADV online, the design of the front end didn't seem to have changed compared to my first generation. Maybe a slightly redesigned headlight, and that's about it. So I thought I'd take a punt. I had similar optional wind deflectors on my Transalp 750, and they were very effective. So armed with the part number, which I've put in the description, I ordered a pair from my Honda dealer. Installation is a pretty straightforward affair. Hold them up to the bodywork to see how they're designed to fit, then wipe the area down with some isopropyl alcohol, and basically just go for it. Be advised though that the pads are very sticky, so you only really get one go at it. This right side went on perfectly, but a healthy dose of overconfidence when tackling the left meant that I had to gently pull the top off and start again, which was a bit nerve-wracking. As you can see though, you do get a few seconds to make any necessary adjustments, and on the second attempt it was spot on. I wrapped a bungee cord around the two deflectors to hold them gently in place and left the bike for about 24 hours to allow the glue to cure. The next day it was test ride time, and I could immediately feel the difference even at low speeds. The deflectors channeled the wind away from my knees almost completely, making for a much more comfortable ride. The ambient temperature on test day in the middle of December was about 15 degrees C, cold for the Algarve, and there was a fairly strong wind blowing, but the difference with the deflectors in place was immediately noticeable, much more so, for example, than the Puig deflector that I have on top of the windscreen. Perhaps curiously, there's a hole in the front to let some air in, possibly to reduce back pressure, but it would suggest to me that they have been properly tested in a wind tunnel by Honda's engineers. Whatever, they do work and I would recommend them. My ADV is very much a workhorse and I've added almost no accessories in the 3 years that I've owned it, but this is one option I would definitely recommend to all owners. Yes, at around €65, £50, they're expensive for what are basically two small bits of lightly smoked plastic, but they're typical Honda quality, and I'm sure if you're prepared to wait a few months and are that way inclined, AliExpress will be able to supply knockoffs at half the price. Just watch out for the quality of the double-sided tape if you do go down that route though. Honda, if you're watching, thanks for these. Maybe make them standard on the 2026 model, and if you also give us 10 more horsepower, I promise I will upgrade. I'd be interested to hear your experience if you fitted these deflectors to your ADV 350, and as always, thanks for watching.